The White Cliffs of Dover was made popular during World War II, and the tune was composed by Walter Kent in 1941, but the lyrics are by Nat Burton. There are many different renditions of the song, the most famous being the one by Vera Lynn, made in 1942, and the song fits into the genre of pop/easy listening.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see.
Vera Lynn frequently mentions a bluebird flying over the white cliffs of Dover. The bluebird symbolizes peace and happiness as well as its joyful singing voice to relay the message of victory.
According to BBC News magazine, for many people, the White Cliffs of Dover are a clear symbol of Britain in the way the Statue of Liberty defines America for many, meaning that happiness, as in the bluebirds, will fly over freedom. Happiness and freedom.
There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow, when the world is free.
The fifth stanza is pretty self-explanatory. When the world is free refers to when the Allies prevail victoriously, and there will be happiness and worldwide liberty soon after the war is won by the Allies.
The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again.
The shepherd from stanza 6 is a biblical allusion and refers to Isaiah 40:11. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads the nursing ewes. This can be interpreted in several ways, one being Churchill and his role in leading the troops to victory. As well, it could be interpreted in a biblical sense, meaning that fate lies within God's hands and his good sense will take care of everything. The verse, "The valley will bloom again," means after the war is over, the battlefields that were once covered in wildflowers will return to their beautiful state and serve as a representation for the rest of the free world. The Jimmy that is mentioned in the second half of the sixth stanza represents the young men that were drafted into the war that will soon be able to return to the safety and comfort of their own homes.
Originally, Nat Burton had intended for there to be 4 different verses in the song, excluding the chorus. When Vera Lynn recorded the song, she excluded the first 2 verses of the song and just repeated the last 2 verses. Above, you will see the original lyrics that Nat Burton originally wrote. In the White Cliffs of Dover, in stanza 2, when she says, "I'll never forget the people that I met," she's referring to the people who she met that were involved in the war, and they will never be forgotten because of their heroism and how extraordinary they were. When she says braving those angry skies, she's alluding to and foreshadowing the gray, dark, bomb-filled skies. The anger symbolizes their origin as they were coming out of anger and hate. When she says, "I remember well as the shadows fell," she's remembering the shadows that fell with the soldiers that were killed, as shadows usually follow people, so she's referring to all of the deaths. And then in the last line of stanza 2, she says, "The light of hope in their eyes." The light of hope being that they were making progress in the war and actually had a chance at winning. In stanza 2, when Vera Lynn says, "And though I'm far away," this is symbolizing and talking about her place as a woman in this specific time period and how she wasn't overly involved actually in the battlefield, but it still had great effects on her in the home front. And when she also says, "I still can hear them say, bombs up." And even though the general population was on a completely different continent, the war is still having a large impact on the home front and the social aspects of their everyday lives. And then in the last line, when she says, "But when the dawn comes up," here's where she's saying that it goes from, her tone shift goes from concerned to optimistic and very assuring that there is hope for tomorrow.